Welcome, everybody, to Studio C70 at the Committee of 70. We got a big election coming up. Election day is May 21st. Big primary, judicial offices on the ballot, mayor, city council, row offices. Just a really big month. Elections are job interviews. The candidates are job applicants, and the voters are the hiring committee. We have one of the job applicants with us today,
Yes.
Asa Khalif. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's good. Asa only when you're upset at me. Asa Khalif.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
No, but
yeah, I had that.
You dressed to kill today, so I give you a pass.
Yeah, right. Oh boy, here we go. So here, let's dig straight into it.
Yes.
Why are you running?
Well, I think it's time now to run because I believe there's a wave of activists who are taking their fight from the streets to the table. We've allowed career politicians, especially here in Philadelphia, to speak for us. And we trusted them that they would have our best interests and the interests of the people in this city who are suffering. And they go and make deals with big developers and they sell us out. So I think now we are realizing that if we really want to speak truth to power, we have to be at those tables. We have to be at those conversations, making um, real deals in terms of that it will benefit the people that we rally for. We don't have any trust in these politicians anymore, especially in Philadelphia. I mean, the track record of corruption is outrageous, and it's generational type of corruption. So same script, different cast. So I think we're taking a page out of this wave now that activists can also be advocates and also occupy spaces and really rally for the people.
So you're a very well-known activist in Philadelphia and have a interesting.
Just maybe a little bit.
yeah. But so that, I mean, obviously that's an asset when you're running for office.
Yes.
How do you see your skills and experiences translating into being a public official?
Well, I think having name recognition is good also, but definitely having a consistent track record of fighting for issues that are very dear to us, such as poverty and such as school to prison pipeline, such as jobs. Activists, especially in the Black Lives Matter movement, we never left our community. So we don't have to put on a suit and tie. No offense to you, we don't have to put on a suit and tie and go and reintroduce ourselves as these career politicians have to do. We know Miss Alice. We just pick up where we left off, and that's the beauty about having this wave of activism and activists really coming and having the courage to occupy these spaces. Now we know where the hurt is. We know who are suffering. They are our neighbors. They are our relatives. They are our godparents. They are our elders. We know where the hurt is, so we don't have to go, and try to launch an investigation where the poverty is. We know where it is. And the beauty about it is we have a heart for people. I have a heart for people. I have a heart for this city. I have a heart for my community, and I'm not going to sell it out. I have integrity, and that's what activists that are running, and myself included, bring. We have character. And we have a passion that we are not going to sell out our people. We're not going to sell out the citizens of this city that are hurting. It's a tale of two cities, one rich and one poor. We cannot afford any longer to have career politicians making deals with big developers and selling the people out. It's time for us to occupy these spaces and truly be a voice for the people. And that's what I want to do. That's what I have been doing. The receipts are in the streets. They really are.
Yeah. So, you're obviously, like, you're no stranger to politics in this town. As far as City Hall goes, you got a mayor and city council and the way we elect folks. What do you think most needs to be improved in City Hall, and just how our politics work here in Philadelphia?
Well, we got to stop playing into politics. I mean, folks have to really be serious about the role that they play and the people that they represent. Again, you need individuals who are occupying spaces with character. And so far, unfortunately, majority of city council people don't have that character, and they are selling the people out, their community, people who have trusted them. I think right now, and I'm so excited because I'm hoping that many of the activists and many other people who are running, who truly have a track record and a heart for people and to serve people, are elected. I think you need a body of people who are on the same page, who will go in and say, this is a need that we have. This is a hurt for the city. Let's come together. and let's make sure that we can to solidify that, to make sure that we can rectify the wrongs that unfortunately people in the city have experienced. Right now you have individuals in city council, it's cliquish. My clique is over here, I have a group over here, and they're divided. The only time they seem to come together is when it benefits their pockets, you know and I think we cannot afford, especially in this election. It's so important that people come first. People have to come first. This city is hurting, and I've been in this city as an activist, but even now running into this in this space as a candidate, it's even intensified. Yesterday, we went to a town hall meeting in North Philadelphia on by Broad and Susquehanna. You hear gentrification, you hear unemployment, you hear healthcare, you hear, there is no funding anymore for youth. You wonder why our youth are all out in the streets. They have no other place to go. Back in my day, we had PAL, we had Salvation Army, we had rec centers, we had libraries that wouldn't close at 3 o'clock, or just close down altogether. We had baseball, we had activities that were well funded that we could go so we wouldn't have to resort to the streets or to drugs. And we don't have that anymore. You say the children are the future. Well, you can't say they're the future because Whitney Houston sung it. You have to realize that they are truly the future. And you must invest in it. How you deal with crime, you get these young people some hope. Our young people especially in the inner city, don't have hope anymore because they know that people are not caring for them, especially public officials. They have to work with the churches now. It can't be these pimp preachers with these big churches about a Cadillac. No, it's about people building a coalition like it was back in my parents' days and in their parents' days. You built a coalition because Philadelphia is built on families and neighborhoods, and you can't gentrify that away. You can't break down the family. It has to be working with public officials, politics. It has to be working with ministers. It has to be working with even people in law enforcement who truly care about the community and want to work with the community. It does take a village, not the village Hillary Clinton co-op. I'm talking about, and that's saying, I'm saying a true village where people will step in, even if they're not their blood related children. We have a moral responsibility as adults to make sure that our young generation have a chance, especially black and brown and poor children in the inner city. They have to have a chance, and you cannot have people occupying spaces selling them out. It's just unacceptable.
Yeah, it sounds, some of what you're getting at is like the political culture that we have here in Philly,
Absolutely.
and which is not unique to Philadelphia. It spans Pennsylvania, actually much of the Mid-Atlantic.
Yes.
Chicago and Illinois are very similar to us. It's insular and transactional, and obviously that can lead to bad decisions and the public interest not being taken into account.
Yes.
What would be some of this kind of I guess I'll term them structural changes that might help with that? The way our primary process works, term limits. I mean, councilman prerogatives is a particularly sticky one, but changes in law that might help kind of put guardrails around this culture, because culture obviously takes a long time to change.
Yes, well, get rid of the term. Definitely, we need term limits. If I'm elected, my job is to do the best in that space, but also I have a responsibility again to train someone to take my space, my spot. Some of these politicians, they're holding on for dear life, and you're not making room for new ideas and new spaces and new people that can come and occupy those spaces who really can bring a different perspective and change, true change. And so I'm definitely for term limits, and then of course we have to this privilege that the politicians have, problematic. What is it?
Yeah, councilman prerogative. It's a strange thing. The term has been actually.
So we call it something else. I mean, I don't want to say it on the live, but
sure,
so I don't want to say that. But that's what we're used to.
Well, for the folks at home, in short story, it's the power that a district member has over the way land is used.
But they're abusing that power, and we see it now, even publicly. You're selling land that could use the money could go for programs, after school programs, public school in your neighborhood, and you're selling it out to your friends for pennies, and you're selling your community out. That has to stop. I think it was a good idea as a safety net for those politicians who had character, who really wanted to protect the community. But now it's kind of like, pay to play. I have this privilege, this power. You give me a little of this, and I'll give you this land. So we have to. It's been abused now by comfortable politicians, and it's time to get them out, and it's time to reevaluate that whole privilege because it is a privilege. And if that privilege is benefiting you and not the people, then it has to be abolished.
Yeah, I mean, do you think is there some role for these district members? I mean, they were elected in that district to have some role in what happens there.
Yes,
and how I guess how do we put safeguards around it?
We can well, first of all, transparency.
Yep.
Definitely, you can't just go in a dark room, shut the door, come back out, and the deal has been made. And then it takes reporters to have to dig it up and expose you for you to admit it. So it has to be transparency, true transparency. Politicians work for the people, and this is what my grassroots candidacy is all about. The people are running this. The people have to reclaim that power now. They've been brainwashed by career politicians that you can't do anything unless we tell you what to do. We'll guide you this way. We'll guide you that way. The people united will never be defeated. It's the people's house. They work for us. And with time, and I see you see it now. It's a new wave that people are saying we're tired of the nonsense. They're building coalition from people from all walks of life, right here in this community, right here in this city. And they're taking back their power. They're holding individuals responsible. And they're saying, if you're not working in the best interest of us, we're going to get you the hell out. And we have the power to do it. We have reclaimed our power. Donald Trump races behind has lit a fire under everybody's ass at this point. And we're just saying at this, we're putting all differences aside. And I say this even in my campaign, white, black, Muslim, gay, straight. If you got a 10-day shut off notice and I have a 10-day shut off notice, we got something in common. Let's get together and pull together and realize, why are we in this situation? Why are people losing their jobs? Why is poverty so high in this city? People are coming together. So if any good has come out of the Antichrist that's in the White House named Donald Trump, it's the fact that people from all walks of life are banding together. And I see it in my campaign. My whole campaign is diverse. But I've always been an activist who never pigeonholed myself. I never told my white allies to go in the back. If we're fighting, I never told anyone to go in the back. If you show up and we're here to fight for a cause, then we all need to be on the front line. No one gets a pass and get in the back in the shadows. And so I've always been, the people united, power to all people. And I think this is what you're saying in my candidacy, but it's just pretty much a different space, but it's the same message.
Yeah. So we only have a few more minutes left. If you were to join the next city council in 2020, what would be your biggest policy objective, right? Everyone's gonna have a limited amount of political capital to vote this, that, or the other. What would be your top priority, and how would you get it done?
I definitely would start campaigning to get rid of the 10-year tax abatement.
Okay.
It's hurting poor people. It's hurting people of color. It's hurting our seniors. We have we've built enough coalition on the ground where the community are coming together now, and we're having meetings now about it. So we have the support from the community, and I believe this council will be different after May 21st, and I think we really can get it going.
Do you think it's the question is eliminating abatement entirely or modifying it?
No, I want it gone,
whole thing,
all together, and then we can come back and renegotiate something new that's going to benefit and help new homeowners as well. But we cannot have Big Mama who suffered through the crack epidemic and the violence. And now that you're suburban, privileged people want to come into the neighborhood, and privilege doesn't have a particular color. Privilege can be an economic status that you have. You want to leave the suburbs and come live the high life in the city, and you're going to come and take over my neighborhood and kick Big Mama out? No. We can't allow that. You can beautify the neighborhood without kicking people who've suffered out.
Yeah.
So definitely that's one of my top priorities. Get rid of that 10-year tax abatement.
Yeah, got it, Asa. Thank you. So we're out of time here. Asa Khalif,
conspiracy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Really appreciate you coming on board here. So, Election Day is May 21st. Asa, what's your ballot?
My number is Lucky 82.
Lucky 80, Lucky 82 there. So look for 82. Asa Khalif on the ballot. Also, Committee 70's nonpartisan voter guide at ballot.70.org. Also, our We Vote app, where you can download that wherever you get your apps at home. Has all the resources you could possibly need for Election Day. And thank you to Thomas Skelton Harrison for funding this project. Asa, thanks again, and good luck on the trail.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty.
A pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.